Welcome to Brew Crime, the podcast where we drink brews, talk crime, conspiracies, or whatever catches our attention. This is Mike and my co-host,
JT.
Jay Tizzle.
I don't.
Like
Jay
always.
Tizzle. Jay
Yes.
Tizzle, Wizzle, Fizzle. I've been called so many things. That is truly the best one. There's.
Perfect.
Yeah, you know. How's it going, dude? As you take a drink of the beer, therefore it's
Yes,
good.
yes. I got home not long ago, had to make dinner quickly, then record on an episode that we weren't really ready for, and we scrambled to put it together because we've both been stupid busy.
And we love you all. And
Yes.
we love you all.
We really haven't alluded to it yet, but we have a very special thing coming up for our 100th episode. Which is,
Yes.
a few episodes out still, but it's going to be really exciting, I think.
It's awesome for you. It's nerve-wracking for me. But it's going to be really cool, so get ready for it. Maybe we'll tell you a little more later. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple episodes before then still.
Yeah, we'll Quentin Tarantino this, where we'll promise a bunch of stuff at the end, and then we won't deliver any of it.
Perfect.
That sounds like I'm coming for him. I'm really not. Man.
I
Don't
am,
sue
because he's
me.
not going to make that Star Trek movie I really wanted.
Well, okay. Well, then I don't feel bad.
Coming for
I
you,
don't
man.
feel bad. Well, today we are talking about what I like to call universal scam awareness, also shortened to USA. I thought you might like
USA.
that. USA. And I have an alternate title for it, but it'll come up in a second as soon as we start talking about it. But before we do that, I want to mention my beer, because I have brought a beer today. And because we're talking about scams, I decided that it would be important to bring in Flying Dog's The Truth Imperial IPA. It's a really cool can. I love Flying Dog's artwork. It's
it's
very Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas-y. And that's like one of my favorite one of my favorite artists who I can't remember right now. But that's okay. It doesn't matter because people will correct me later on. Write a review on Apple. Correct me.
Yes, please.
Or just write a review and say that you love it, because the more you review, the more people see it.
Well, I mean, whatever you say. Whatever. It's 5 stars is what matter. What matters.
Yeah. 5 stars in just like 2 words. Or just 5
Yes.
stars.
Put
yeah,
5
you can
stars
write-
and then just write 5 stars.
Just yeah. Just write it good with a G-U-D. It good. So yeah, universal scam awareness. My beer, like I mentioned, is The Truth, and it is it's basically it's got pine notes and stone fruit underpinnings, and it's at 8.7%. It uses Munich and malted wheat. The hops are Warrior, Summit, Columbus, Citra, and Amarillo. And so it's a really good, it's not too fruity, but it's a comfortable IPA. Like, if you're not a huge fan of, like, bitter, whatever, I mean, it's kind of a nice middle ground for an IPA.
Nice.
So, yeah. I hope that review made sense.
It did to me.
If it does to you, then I'm doing well. I'm doing all right. That's kind of
I'm not
your
wearing
thing.
I'm not wearing 2 watches, so.
No, you're not wearing. All right, Rudy. No, but you are wearing a beer shirt, and that's intimidating.
Yes.
So, we haven't covered something like this before. Is it white collar? Not really. But what I'd like to put scams in, I'd like to put them in the shite collar crimes category.
Yes.
These people are horrible. If you're listening to this show and you're a scammer, fuck you. Your family
absolutely.
and everything you hold dear. I have no problem saying that, because these people take advantage of those who believe the world to be a decent place, or who haven't reached a level of cynicism where they question every single thing.
Yes,
But-
exactly. Like in Canada, Revenue Canada's not going to phone you and tell you that the police have got a warrant out for your arrest if you don't pay up.
Oh,
Like-
you guys get that too?
Oh, yeah.
My favorite phone calls are when I pick up the phone and they say that my boat's warranty has expired, and I answer back, and because of course I do, And I
Yeah.
say, hey, listen, if you know where my boat is, can you let me know? Because I want to know where this boat is, because I can't fucking afford a boat.
How big is it?
Yeah, how big? Describe it to me, please. Also, I live in Richmond, so you tell me about that boat.
It's for the end times when it floods.
You mean next year?
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to be on beachfront property soon enough.
Woohoo.
Woo. So, even people who have reached the cynicism level or who do their research, I mean, here's the thing. They're good, right? These scammers are freaking good. I don't want to say it, but it's true. And they just keep getting better. And it's kind of like weapons battle. You get knives, and then they get knives, then pistols and machine guns, and then it's to the nuclear bomb, right?
Yeah.
These folks just get more and more sophisticated. And so it's dirty and it's fucked, but we're going to talk about it because it's important that I think folks know these things.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just older or super younger people. I think a lot of people think scams target the older and the younger. They don't. They target those also who, who might be passionate about something or who might have a certain occupational goal, or we'll get there.
Yeah. It all depends on what the scam is. Some are targeted to the old, some are targeted to the young.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the whole gamut.
It
of
is.
douchebaggery.
And we'll cover like 6 different scams. So it doesn't matter how tech or scam aware you are. If they're targeting you where things kind of get pushed to the side in terms of occupation, passion, finances, whatever, it doesn't matter how much research you do. At times, they will have taken that all. They will have all that taken care of. I mean, if they could do something useful with their obsessive scam lives, maybe some good things would come out of it, but, that doesn't pay, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it was funny because, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, well, if they put so much work into it, they could just do a job. But the bottom line is if they're scamming 10 people for $3,000 a pop and the scam's complete in a week, they've made 30 grand, right? My math's not great, obviously.
Yeah.
So, 30 grand a week isn't something to sneeze at.
No, I wouldn't sneeze at that at all.
No. And in 2021 in the U.S. alone, $6.1 billion was scammed. That's a lot.
And not all of it by the former president.
No. Just about 3/4 of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably why it went up. So, so if you've been scammed, I'm truly sorry. It's horrible, and there's a combination of feelings. Like, why didn't I see it? Why didn't I see the red flags? I'm stupid. This is embarrassing. I'm helpless to do anything. What's next? And can I trust anyone any longer? It's horrible.
Did the X-Files not teach you trust no one?
Apparently not. But
also, the truth is out there.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that you could have that outlook, and that's honestly at this point probably totally valid, 100%. But like they cloud it. They just cloud it and they hit you when you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, let's talk about the top scams of the last few years. And hopefully by the end of this, you're at least going to have a little more awareness and knowledge of what to look out for. And at the end, we'll give you some general information on how to avoid these things from happening. And just kind of summarizing some of the stuff that we cover. So the first one we're going to cover, and I think, Mike, you and I have had some friends that have encountered these things, are PayPal scams.
Yes, we have. A couple recently.
Yeah, and they're hitting this hard, especially around the holidays, because people use PayPal to pay people and send money and all that kind of stuff. And so now's the time, right? Because family members send money. So fraudsters can easily fake the friendly name and a sender's email address. Basically, a friendly name is the name that pops up, right? PayPal, right? So the address will say PayPal, but what you have to do is mouse over that friendly name so you can see where it's actually from. Chances are it'll be like a SP200 at blah, 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 right? And it's not actually PayPal.
At hotmail.com.
Right. And if you can't do that, because some mail, servers or whatnot, websites won't let you do that. You can actually hit reply, and it'll show you exactly what that email is. It probably will not be PayPal. So
Probably not, yeah.
there's a couple things that there's another thing to do, and look at the entire email. And when you check your account, always enter paypal.com instead of clicking the link in the email. Do not click the link
Never.
in the email. It'll send you to a fake site. You'll enter your stuff, and they'll have access. So there's a couple ways that they do this. One, there's an advance fee fraud. So they're looking for, hey, somebody's trying to send you money. We need money in order to get this money. So, and then they'll just take it, right?
Always fake.
Always fake. If you get an email that says that they're trying to verify you through your PayPal account, don't do it.
No.
I think that this is the grossest of everything, and it's the fake charities who are looking for donations through PayPal. And so, they'll send you an email and say, charity, PayPal, click on this to donate. And, the well-meaning people will do it. Don't do it.
Nope.
Also, you get the whole, your account is about to be suspended. PayPal's not going to send you that.
No.
At all, because they don't want to suspend your account. Why would they want to do that? PayPal was started by Elon Musk. He wants more people.
I forgot about that. It's already a fraud.
You know what? And I say it was started by Elon Musk. Really what he did was probably take somebody's idea.
Stole someone's idea,
Stole
I'm
it,
sure.
yeah,
or buy.
Yeah. So Elon Husk. I'm calling him Elon Husk from now because he's just a husk of a human. He's literally a flesh suit. That's it. Then there's also the
there you go.
that
It was
say-
originally established by Max Levshin, something Peter Thiel, and Luke Nosek.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, yeah. So he bought it from them. There you go.
Bought it. Okay. Probably spent too much, just like he did for this one.
Probably.
Then you'll also get emails that say you've been paid and you need to log in. Or you've been paid too much and we need money back. By the way, that's not going to happen. So since when has anybody ever been paid too much? And I know that makes it sound like I'm like, this is obvious, but it's really not, because if you click on it and you see it, it's going to look legit like a PayPal email.
Yeah.
So here's some ways to identify legitimacy. An email from PayPal is going to come from paypal.com. Spammers can fake that friendly name, but it's more difficult to fake the full name. A sender like PayPal service is not a message from PayPal. They're also going to, an email from PayPal is going to address you by your first and last names or your business name.
Yeah, it's not, hi, Brew Crime.
Right. Or it's not, hi, Chief. They're gonna give you your first and last name.
Unless your name is Chief, and you're
Right,
like
well-
Prince that only had one name.
In that case, it's going to be a lot more difficult. So do that whole reply thing, and you'll be
Yeah.
able to see what the email is.
And if your name is Chief, you got to go get your master's degree, so you're Master Chief.
Oh, my God. Shut up. That's a great idea. That is fantastic. So an email from PayPal is not going to ask you for sensitive information like your password or credit card number, and it's not going to contain any attachments or ask you to download or install any software. Because what they do is they make you freak out, and then you call them, and then they say, hey, in order to do this, we need to install some software. Can you do that? And then all of a sudden they have control of your computer.
Yes. Bad news bears.
It's bad news bears. It's bad news bears. And, the best thing that you can do is get it uninstalled as quickly as you possibly can before they can access anything. And it's hard to do, but it can be done.
Yeah.
And again, the folks that we know that this has happened to are extremely intelligent people. Not only that, but they spend their life studying idiots like these people. And so it happens to anybody.
Yep.
If there's a link in the email, check before you click. A link could look safe, but if you move your mouse over the link and just hover, you'll see the true destination. So it'll tell you exactly where you're going. It's kind of hard to fake a URL.
I mean, when it comes to a link in an email, unless you're expecting that email, don't click it.
Yeah.
If it's something that's supposedly your bank, just go to your bank's website, log in, and see if there's a direct message in the bank or PayPal. Do not click a link if you're not expecting it.
I'm super glad you said that, because at the beginning of this, I'd said, I'm going to say this at the end of the PayPal section, and then I totally forgot until you said it, which is, if PayPal sends you something and you're even remotely the smallest bit questioning, go to the website by typing in PayPal. Don't click on the link in the email, and look through that. If you still have questions, call them, because you really PayPal's linked to people's bank accounts, right? So
Yeah.
you don't want to.
And I
do
mean,
that.
if you've got an email from the bank, or what is it? What's a bank in the States?
Wells
Gone
Fargo.
completely blank. Wells Fargo, or TD Bank. Just go to their website.
Yeah, just
Don't click on the
definitely
link.
go to the website for sure. I said Wells Fargo because I wanted to say the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down that. Okay.
Oh, isn't Bank of America one?
Yeah, well, so the second type of scam, which truly, I mean, I think the whole thing is really a scam, is the cryptocurrency scams.
Yes.
I was hoping you'd like this one. So,
If you've got $1 million to lose, put it there. If you've
Go
got
for
$10 to lose, put it there, because you're gonna lose it.
yep, it's proven itself to be true. So, since 2021, scammers have stolen more than $1 billion with these scams. It's the second highest. The first one is romance scams, and we'll talk briefly about that too. Even though it's newer, scammers are using the classic ways to scheme. And so let's talk just about a couple of these. Bitcoin investment schemes. Scammers contact investors claiming to be seasoned investment managers. They claim to have made millions. Scammers request an upfront fee, and then instead of making money, they just run off with it.
Yep.
And they also attempt to gain access to your crypto wallet, which means that they have access to anything you have that's crypto, and probably your bank accounts too. The next one's the rug pull scam. So investment scammers will pump up a new project or an NFT, which if you don't know what an NFT is, it's apparently a one-of-a-kind thing that you can buy that's digital.
Non-fungible token, I think?
Yeah, something like that. But here's my thing. Like, you buy an NFT and then you post the NFT and then somebody screenshots the NFT. It's no longer...
Well, what it is, though, is every time that picture shows up online anywhere, it links back to that NFT, so you know if someone's seen it, supposedly.
Supposedly.
But who cares? It's just a stupid picture, usually. It's not even a good one, for the most part.
Right. So, they pump this up, and afterwards, the scammers get their money and from everybody who's really psyched about it, and then they just run off with it. And here's an example of that. There's a Squid Coin scam that happened that was named after the Squid Game show on Netflix. And investors had to play to earn cryptocurrency, and people would buy tokens for the online games and earn more to later exchange for other cryptocurrencies. And the price of that token, the worth went from 1 cent to $90 per token. And then eventually the trading stopped, and then the money disappeared, and the scammers made around $3 million.
Yep. Or like you mentioned NFT, I just had to look this up. Justin Bieber, my favorite Canadian, he paid $1.3 million for a Bored Ape NFT. Mm-hmm. It's now worth $69,000.
There it is. See? So I'm telling you. Is Justin from Vancouver?
No, he's from Ontario somewhere.
Of course he is. Sorry, Ontario.
I think it's Ontario.
I got nothing to say. I got nothing bad to say except for Justin Bieber.
Yeah, the Biebs is terrible.
You can have him back. Please take him back. We have an extradition agreement with you guys. Take him back.
I think he actually is living up here right now, isn't he? I thought he was.
That's fine. He can
I don't
stay.
know.
He's been through some crap, but still.
Yeah.
Then another part of crypto is the man-in-the-middle attack, where a scammer can This goes for pretty much anything. A scammer can intercept any information sent over a public network, including passwords, cryptocurrency wallet keys, account information.
Yes.
So if you're
public
on a
Wi-Fi,
network,
be careful.
Please, good grief. So it's done by intercepting the Wi-Fi signals on trusted networks if they're in close proximity. So something to do to battle that is to use a VPN or a virtual private network. And that encrypts all the data that's being transmitted so people can't access personal information and steal your crypto or anything else.
Yeah.
Which crypto's really not worth much anymore, so your identity is really what I'm saying here. Jeez. So how to protect yourself in terms of crypto? There's some common red flags that you can look for. Promises for large gains or double the investment. Only accepting crypto as payment, contractual obligations, misspellings and grammatical errors in emails, social media posts, any other communication, manipulation tactics such as extortion or blackmail, promises of free money There's nothing free. My mom always said that when I was a kid. Nothing is free.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's either going to cost your soul or a check. There's, which I don't have a soul, so I can't pay with that. Good luck getting it, mother truckers. Fake influences or celebrity endorsements that seem out of place because they do use celebrity endorsements as fake
Oh yeah.
endorsements.
What was that latest crypto that just crashed that had all kinds of
Oh my god,
celebrities
I don't
and an NBA team too?
Jesus. Oh man. It's a series of numbers. Minimal details about money movement and the investment, and then several transactions in one day. So just look out for those kind of things. Be very careful. And you know what? If you're good, if you can make money off of this type of investment, by all means, go ahead. Just be super careful about it. Is all I'm saying. The next one's online shopping scams. So these folks like to set up fake retailer websites that look like genuine online retail stores. And they might use sophisticated designs and layouts, stolen logos, and more. I could do it if I hopped on Wix right now.
We're looking at you, Facebook ads.
Jesus, I know. Dude, and I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. So many offer luxury items like popular brands of clothing, jewelry, and electronics, all at super low prices. And sometimes you receive the item, but it's going to be fake. And sometimes you won't get anything at all.
Yeah. I want my Coach purse.
Right? I once got a random box in the mail. And this box was, it was from Amazon, I think it was. Or at least it looked like it was from Amazon. And basically, from what I understand, the scam is that you receive goods and there's nothing to turn it back or return it, but then they contact you saying you received goods, you need to pay for them. So what I did was I held on to that box for probably 3 or 4 months before I even attempted to open it. And I did open it, and it contained Yeezys, which are shoes, probably fake, but who the hell knows, and a bunch of other crap in there. They never contacted me, but if they did, I would have said I haven't opened the box. So you can have it back. Just tell me where to send it.
Or I never got a box.
Right? And the bottom line is I would have never sent them money anyways, because chances are they would have asked for it in prepaid gift cards or money transfer or things like that, right?
And also they're Yeezys.
Right? I don't understand the cost of shoes. It's rubber and fabric. Come on.
And some stupid person's name.
Right? So.
I'm looking at you, Yeezys.
So the method of payment is the biggest tip-off for these. Scammers often ask to pay using money order, preloaded money card, or wire transfer. The newest versions of online shopping scams involve the use of social media platforms to set up fake online stores. They'll make a number of sales and then they'll just disappear. And they use social media to promote these fake websites. And Facebook, as we know, doesn't do any research into this. They just let it happen because they're making money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There are some warning signs, unbelievably low prices. The other party insists on immediate payment. Social media-based stores are very new, but also selling products at very low prices. It does not provide adequate information about privacy, terms and conditions of use, dispute resolution, or contact details. You really need to protect yourself. So, does the website or social media page have a refund or returns policy, and do their policies sound fair? Or do they even have policies? When you're using these websites, find out exactly who you're dealing with, kind of delve down into that. When making online payments, only pay for items using a secure payment service. So look for a URL starting with HTTPS, but also having a closed padlock system, or a payment provider such as PayPal. Think twice before using something like Bitcoin, as they don't really have the same protections, right? And avoid any arrangement with a stranger that asks for upfront payment via money order, wire transfer, international funds, preloaded card, electronic currency. I know that some of this is, repetitive, but this is important stuff. So the next scam is the job scam.
I was going to say one thing, too.
Yeah.
There are websites like Trustpilot that you can go to kind of get an idea if the web store is a scam or not. Not 100% accurate, but still you can get an idea when people put in reviews saying, yes, it's reliable, yes, it's good, or no, do not buy from them.
I do like those websites. I think what would really start putting these assholes out of business is if more of us use those websites,
Yeah.
because those websites are only as good as the people who actually know to log on and review.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
But even if there's two or three and they tell you this is a scam or this isn't a scam, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Um, it never hurts to have the most information, even if it's like
And
two or three pieces.
if there's only one or two reviews on that, don't really take it as truth either way. But if there's hundreds of reviews, then you can
Right.
kind of think this is probably accurate.
Right. So the next one is the job scam, and I had always thought of scams as being, primarily money or primarily identity or primarily um, website or email or the Prince of Nigeria, right? Like that, that's
Yes.
typically
He
what I
wants to
think
send
of.
you money.
I am not that important for anybody from anywhere royalty to contact me. So, but they have seen a dramatic increase of these types of scams because companies are going remote, and so now they're taking advantage of that,
Yeah.
which is really fucking sad and pisses me off because companies are realizing that employees can be just as productive, if not more so, at home. So they're actually starting to agree to this. So
Unless you're
14
Elon.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, now he's lost them all. 14 million people are caught up in employment scams every single year. And in 2020 alone, Better Business Bureau reports that fraudsters caused victims an estimated $2 billion, which is insane. So there are some job scam warning signs, and then I'll go ahead and explain one specifically. So the first one's that it's too good to be true. If it seems like, oh my God, they reached out to me, they want this, whatever, it, and they're promising things and they're saying this is the reality, and if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Yep.
And I don't say that for you to be cynical about everything that comes your way, but be very careful if that's how it starts. Also, some of these job scams will have vague job requirements and job descriptions. Know that if there's a job description that they send you and it doesn't have the amount of experience you need, that's pretty standard in a job description.
Yeah.
So kind of
You can work around it, but you expect to see it.
Right. And I mean, specifically with the job requirements, description, whatnot, if you have a friend that even part-time works in HR, just have them look it over and they can tell you pretty quickly. Also, you have unprofessional emails. We're back to the misspellings, the grammar, all of that stuff. Also, online interviews via messaging service. So, it is not out of practice for large organizations who hire a lot of people to actually do a messaging service interview. Now, having said that, be careful.
Yes.
And here's where you can be careful. Don't apply for something without going through the official website to apply. If they email you and reach out to you saying, hey, we saw you on LinkedIn, have them send you the link to the job and apply through the actual official website, because it will be posted, because it has to be posted. Don't just send them a resume so that they can continue the scam. Ask if it's posted and ask for a URL so that you can apply through the proper channels.
Yeah. And if it's a small company that doesn't post, then go to their official website, find their official email, and email it to them that way.
Yeah, email it that way, or contact them and say, hey, I heard this job was open. And after you do that, if then the company wants to interview you initially by messaging service, like Microsoft Teams, okay. But definitely go through the official route.
Yeah.
Also, if emails don't include contact information, that's definitely a warning sign. Search results don't add up. I will say this, that these scams are pretty legit in terms of being able to get past some initial search results. But look up everything you possibly can, not just about the company, but the people reaching out to you, There's a lot of stuff you can do and look up these days. Um, then, if they ask you to provide confidential information, don't do it. A lot of companies they will not ask you for banking information. What they'll do is send you to a portal where you actually can officially do it.
Yeah.
But also be wary there too. It really sucks. It sucks that you have to do this. It sucks that these people have destroyed this for people. Also, they want you to pay for something, or your gut says it's a scam. So, I'll talk about one. So one job scam, they'll reach out and they'll reach out via email and say that they saw you on LinkedIn or whatnot, and they looked at your background and it looks great and they'd love for you to apply for this. So let's act as if you're doing this whole thing. So you send them your resume and stuff, and they say this looks great. We would love to interview you. Go ahead and download Microsoft Teams. Add me as a contact, and then they will start that interview process. Now, that interview is going to be through basically a bot, but again, that process is not out of the ordinary. It might be weird, but it's not out of the ordinary in terms of standard practices these days. So they'll ask the typical questions, and then you answer them. And then what will happen is a couple of days later, they'll set you up with a phone call with somebody, and that person will give you a lot of great glowing feedback, and they'll offer you the job, boom, right on the spot. No second interview. Nothing else, just boom, immediate offer. And then right after you get off the phone call, you get the email from HR that you've been talking to saying, hey, congrats, you got the job. Now here's all the paperwork. And so they've flooded you with information so you can't think straight. And so you fill out that information, you send it back to them, and then boom, they hook you up with a quote, with a project leader or a team leader or whatever that is, just to continue this on. So now you've sent your I-9, your W-4, you sent direct deposit, et cetera, and then that team leader will say, hey, listen, so I know your start date's this date, and we'd like to get you ready ahead of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you, we're gonna send you a check, and this check is gonna be for such and such things. Now, this check could be for as little as $1,000 or as much as $30,000. And what they'll do is they'll overpay. So they'll send a check, and then they'll email or send a message via Microsoft Teams saying, "Hey, we overpaid you. We're sorry. We messed up. We need some of this money back. So we need you to pay us back." And so by threat of legal stuff, they'll ask you and they'll scare you into paying them money back. And so don't do it.
No.
Yeah, don't do it. And also, the bottom line is wait for that check to clear. It's not going to clear.
No.
The check they send is not going to clear. And so if you pay them, they're going to run off. They'll never talk to you again. But if you find yourself in this situation, here's what you can do. Join LifeLock. It's not that expensive. It'll immediately shut down pretty much your identity and anything else you add to it. You can shut down if you're in the U.S. I'm guessing Canada has the same kind of thing. But if you're in the U.S., you can actually freeze your Social Security number, so it cannot be used to open anything. And then also
here it's called the social insurance number. Yeah.
Yeah, and then head over to your 3 biggest credit report sites like Experian, etc. Freeze your credit. You can still use credit cards and stuff, but freeze it so nothing can be opened or used or whatever. The minute you do that, you can start tracking things both in your bank account and things like that. Also, if you're applying for remote jobs or somebody reaches out to you and you just have the slightest feeling that it's a scam, if you get to the point where you give them any kind of direct deposit or any kind of bank information, give them an empty account. Give them a fake one. Give them something that's brand new. Open an account and give them that. Don't give them something with all your money in it.
Brand new PayPal, not attached to anything. If that
there
works.
It is. So yeah, that's the job scams. That's an example of job scams. They prey on the fact that you're looking for a job or the fact that you have a passion, they know what it is, and they're going to run through it, right?
Yeah. Most people that are looking for a job usually are unsatisfied with their job or need a job because they're out of work. So
Right.
there's some desperation in there. So when you hear something like someone wants you, instantly that dopamine hit, like, yes.
Right? And it's like, oh my gosh, they like what I'm doing. Oh, no, geez. Um, just be careful. Just be
Yes,
careful.
please.
Um, so the next one's romance scams. Um, in the past 5 years, people have reported losing $1.3 billion to these scams.
Yeah.
In 2021, losses hit $547 million, which is 6 times the reported losses in 2017, an 80% increase compared to 2020. The median losses in 2021 were around $2,400 a pop. So these people are masters of disguise, right? It
Yes.
just reminds me of Dana Carvey. I'm going to be a master of disguise. Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club? So these folks assume...
Ermagerd.
So that movie could not have been made today. They sometimes assume the identities of real people. They actually study their available online information and will portray these humans.
Yes.
More than a third of people who said they lost money to an online romance scam in 2021 said it began on Facebook or Instagram. Imagine that, Meta,
Mm-hmm.
allowing scams to happen.
And just wait for the metaverse if it ever takes off,
Jesus.
which it won't.
It won't. There's no way.
Stupid.
It's so
That is
dumb.
like the biggest scam out there right now, I think, is metaverse.
It's amazing. It's amazing when million/billionaires think that it's a good idea to spread out what they're good at. I've always learned that if you're good at something, stick to it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you spread yourself, nobody likes a thinly peanut buttered sandwich. Nobody likes that. Not one person enjoys that.
No.
Don't.
The metaverse is putting peanut butter on a ham sandwich.
What I'm saying is that Zuckerberg needs to listen to me.
Yes.
Anyway, so these people also weave all sorts of believable stories to con people, but the old standby involves pleas of help while claiming one financial or health crisis after another. People agree to help transfer money as a favor to their sweetheart or person, right? People reported paying all sorts of bogus fees to accept money that actually never turns up. And that's kind of the sugar daddy scam, where they pretend to be that person who could give you money, and they say, well, in order to do that, you need to pay these fees, or you need to give me this information in order for me to deposit the money.
Yeah.
And people are financially strapped right now. People are doing a lot of things now, and so people are taking advantage. Scammers also use romance as a hook to lure people into bogus investments, especially cryptocurrency.
Yes.
I'm just saying, it's tied. The largest reported losses to romance scams were paid in crypto, which was $139 million last year alone. Reports about romance scams in 2017 were 17,000. Now, these are just the reports that were made. But in 2021, it was 56,000. So people are gross. So
Yeah,
how
we
can
already
you
knew
tell?
that.
Right. So how can you tell that these are scams? Nobody is legitimately going to ask you to help by sending crypto or giving the numbers to a gift card or wiring money. Nobody's going to
No.
ask you that when they're meeting you. This is not plenty of fish. That is not what they want. So also never send or forward money to someone you haven't met in person, and don't act on their investment advice. So Mike, I'll never send you money. I'm kidding. Whatever you want. I'm here. I'm literally the Friends theme song.
Yeah, I really need some money so that I can come see you. So please send it to me right now, and it'll totally be used to buy a ticket to fly there.
All of a sudden, Mike's
Gone.
got sideline seats to the BC Lions.
Practically do already.
Yeah, sorry, 50-yard line seats to the
There we
BC
go.
Lions. Which honestly, I think those are probably worse seats than the ones you've got, because
Yeah.
you don't have that close. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is not the point.
Squid scam.
The other thing that you can do is talk to friends or family about this new love interest. People you trust, right? Not people who are going to judge you. People who can give you legitimate advice or feedback. If they are concerned, maybe you should be concerned. Maybe. Now, if they're being assholes, that's a whole nother ballgame. But think about it. Also, you could try a reverse image search of profile pictures. If the details don't match up, it's probably a scam.
Probably, yeah.
I feel safe to say that if if Zac Efron is contacting you for a date, number one, Zac Efron would never ask anybody for money. He doesn't need it. But number two, probably not. Probably not. Now, if Justin
Probably
Bieber
not.
asked for money, probably. But that's not true at all.
Or
Jesus.
Nickelback.
Oh, gee. I'll give him 95 cents.
Yeah.
Because I want that nickel back, damn it. That's all I'm willing to pay for an album.
No, I wouldn't even pay that.
Speaking of which, they actually released a new track the other day.
Great.
Yep. Okay. So
What's
let's
it called?
hop into
95 cents?
No, it ain't worth that.
Nope.
So one of the last ones, the last one that I want to talk about, really kind of hits on the tragedy that's happened over the past couple of years, and that's COVID-19 scams. And
Yes.
I get pissed with the job scams. I get pissed with the romance scams because you're really like destroying somebody's trust in anything that's sacred. But this really pisses me off. And so individuals are using testing sites, telemarketing calls, text messages, social media platforms, door-to-door visits to scam people. So be very cautious of any COVID-19 testing site that requires financial or medical information to receive a free test. The free tests go through the government.
Yeah.
I know that the U.S. government provides free tests if you sign up to have them sent to you. Does Canadian government still do that, or?
Yes, the Canadian government actually has it set up that to get free COVID tests, you go to almost any pharmacy in Canada right now, and you just walk in, grab them, and go.
That's
You
awesome.
don't need to do anything, show anything. You just grab a 5-pack of tests and go.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So also, be careful about advertisements for COVID-19 testing or treatments on social media platforms. Y'all, our audience is not the target audience for this message. But if somebody is saying that they can solve your COVID-19 problem with horse paste, please.
Or that
I think we're past this,
hydrochloroquine or whatever the fuck it was called.
I don't know. Or by laying spread eagle trying to get sun to your asshole. These are not solutions, everybody.
Yes,
These
they're
are
not Joe Rogan.
That man, I'm convinced after all the bullshit with COVID-19, he's fucking invincible. I'm convinced he's invincible. He's the fucking Superman of podcasting. Everybody loves him.
No, he's not the Superman. He's the what's the one from The Boys?
Homelander?
Homelander. He's the Homelander.
Jesus.
He is not Superman.
I think he's the fish guy. That's what I think. I think he's got gills in his
The Deep.
ribs. I think he's the deep. God, the only thing is that he's shallow. So, so scammers selling fake and unauthorized home COVID-19 test kits in exchange for your personal information. Don't do that. Please. And I say this knowing that I'm pretty sure there's a delegation of folks from my county. Don't purchase fake COVID-19 proof of vaccination cards. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. We've seen that. People have been caught, and they've gone to jail. Don't do it.
Is that still a thing?
I don't know if it's still a thing, but
okay.
I'm not surprised if somebody's decided that they wanted to do that yesterday. But also, don't fill in blank ones with false information.
No.
Just don't. There's so many bad things that can happen to you. Don't do it. Don't be an asshole. That's like asshole on top of asshole. Like you didn't want to get vaccinated, but now you want to prove that you have been, even though you have. It's just, that's shit. Also, offers to purchase COVID-19 vaccination cards. Those are scams.
Yes.
Y'all, they're scams. And then also something that we figured out that probably should have been obvious, but might not have been right away, and I might have actually accidentally done it, not thinking, but I deleted it. But don't put photos of your vaccination cards on social media.
No.
At all, for so many reasons. I mean, one, your birthday's there with your name. That's not great. But also it's on Facebook. But the reality is don't put it there. It also tells people where you've been to get the shots. the
Yeah.
vaccinations, and you don't need people knowing exactly where you're. It's just don't do it. It's just,
Yeah, I mean,
just don't do it.
when it was happening, it was okay, like, to have that sticker saying I'm vaccinated, and it said
Right.
what health region you were from, because that's a pretty big region, usually.
Sure.
But other than that, yeah, don't.
Right, and then be cautious of COVID-19 survey scams. People will call and they'll say, we want to just take a survey of COVID-19, and then they'll ask you for some information that's identifiable, and surveys don't give a shit about that kind of stuff, about identifiable information. They shouldn't ever.
No.
Be mindful of how this is not surprising to me. This is also why I rip up all of my prescription. You know how, like, I don't know for you guys, but like there's like an information sheet that comes with your prescriptions.
Yep.
And like I always like try and shred them as much as I can before I throw them in the trash. But be mindful of how you dispose of COVID-19 materials. That includes vials, vial container boxes, VaxRec cards, shipment tracking records. Improper disposal of anything that's identifiable can be used by people. And I mean, anybody can get into your trash at any point. Somebody could be in my trash right now. It's probably a raccoon, but
Yeah.
you know. Beneficiaries should also be cautious of unsolicited requests for their personal, medical, and financial information. Listen, for those in the U.S., Medicare doesn't call to offer COVID-19 related products, services, or a benefit review. Medicare does not call. If you get a call from somebody saying they're Medicare, hang the fuck up. Because honestly, they don't do a lot anyways. They're not going to add this to their fucking list of things to call you about. Like, they're
No.
just not.
No. Like Fair
also-
Farmer Care in Canada does more, but they're not going to do that either.
No. Don't respond to open links from text messages about COVID-19 from
Nope.
unknown individuals. Don't give your personal or financial information to anybody claiming to offer healthcare or human health services grants related to COVID-19. And be aware of scammers pretending to be COVID. This is the worst part. The scammers pretending to be COVID-19 contact tracers. So
Oh, wow.
different states have different things that they're doing, but I know Virginia, if COVID is found, what they'll do is they will reach out to you to say, how's it going? You know, and they'll figure that out. But listen, here's the thing. Typically, they're not going to reach out to you to contact trace. They're just not. They can't
No.
do it. It's not possible.
Contact tracing kind of seems to have fallen by the wayside everywhere now at this point.
Yeah, it really has. So listen, if somebody calls anything COVID, if it's not the government, if you can't prove it's the government, just assume it's a scam.
Well, I mean, I don't
Please.
know about there, but like when contact tracing was a big thing here, they didn't ask for anything other than you've been exposed to COVID, you are to isolate for this many days. Period.
That's pretty
Thank
much
you.
it. Yeah.
And if
Yeah,
you're not
thank you.
home,
Thank
you
you
know-
for not being an asshole.
and early on, it was like if you were told to isolate and someone stops by to check if you're isolating and you're not, there was some serious trouble involved.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, a lot of this kind of boils down to a few things. One, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And that really sucks because there are some opportunities that come across people's desks that are fantastic.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us now have a pretty good gut feeling for scams. So if it seems too good to be true, or if you just have questions, pursue those questions
Yeah.
as much as you possibly can, whether it's a Google search or asking these people directly or contacting whatever you can. I don't know. So I will ask you this. I know in the United States we have the Better Business Bureau,
Yeah.
which
Same.
reports on scams. You guys do too. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Same thing.
So there's that. You know, we also have the Federal Trade Commission. We have all of these things. They will report on scams. So if you feel like this might be happening to you, do a quick search and look. Because although the internet has been a curse to you through this scam, it can be a blessing to get you to shut things down quickly. And I'll mention this one more time. You can freeze your social security number so it can't be used. You said it's social insurance number for you guys?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. You can freeze your credit. You can freeze your identity. This is not a paid, I wish it was a paid sponsorship, but you know, LifeLock can lock down a lot of things. It can look at a lot of things. It can even look at your social media. So if you even feel like you've been scammed, hop on there, add yourself, and monitor it. Even if it's for a couple of months, it's worth it for just a couple of months to make
Yeah.
sure.
I'll just say
So-
too, like in Canada, there's the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. Canada.ca has a page for scams and fraud. So yeah, there's definitely ways to get that too.
And the bottom line is, it sucks that we have to think about this shit. It sucks that these human beings exist. They want the easy way out, but reporting these kind of things and maintaining the documentation. So, like, let's say you get the emails from the HR rep, or you have the chats from the people. Hold on to those, because if you report and you can report all of that information, it's a little easier for them.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard, and they're going to come up with new ways every single day, because these assholes have nothing better to do than to sit on their ass and figure
Yep.
it out.
Oh, of course.
But, and if you've made it this far in this podcast, we appreciate it. I know that this is very different than what we've typically done, but the holidays are coming up, and these kind of things happen all the time, and it
Yeah.
is crime. This is a crime.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's federal, actually, for us.
Probably.
So, you're hitting across state lines no matter what you
Yeah.
do. You're hitting anybody you possibly can.
Or
So,
country lines often.
yes.
Another thing just to say too, if you're getting a phone call that claims to be such and such, and it says it's from a different country or a time or an area code that's not in your country, then definitely don't trust it. I
Well,
had a call recently. Now it ended up not being in English, but it literally said it was coming from Shanghai. Like, I don't know anyone in Shanghai. There's no way that phone call was real.
Well, and if you get a phone call that does seem real, but you're still questioning it, look into that phone number. Because I had somebody who, they were called from Colorado, and it had a Colorado zip code, checked out, but it ultimately led to a flooring store. So although the zip code or the area code checked out, the number in its entirety not checked out.
Yeah.
Not at all. So just be wary, You don't have to keep your head on a swivel, but question, right? Always question, and make sure that again, go with your gut. Absolutely go with your gut. And if your gut leads you to verify, awesome. If that means you
Yeah.
reach out to a company, do it. Whatever it is, take that extra step, because these fuckers have thought of everything. Anyways, that's the positive note I leave you on. These fuckers will think of everything. But thanks for listening, everybody.
I'm going to add one more fraud on there.
Oh, do it.
Anything that Alex Jones sells is a fraud.
Including Kanye.
Yes.
Which, honestly, I don't even... I have a feeling that all of our listeners have learned about this already, but even Kanye makes Alex Jones look almost sane.
Sometimes, yeah.
Even Kanye made Alex Jones uncomfortable on his show.
Which is hard to do.
Yeah, just from his attire alone. But Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Jones doesn't sell vitamins, y'all. He literally sells they're salt tablets. That's all they are. It's all a scam.
Yeah.
All of it's a scam. Silver, all that bullshit
Colloidal
that
silver,
they sell,
whatever it's called.
all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
bullshit they sell on TV, just don't do it.
Yeah. Hey, like the reason why a lot of companies are taking silver out of deodorants is because it never gets out of your system, and it's actually kind of bad for you.
Kind of bad. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Something
yeah.
mass-produced is bad for us?
Never.
Not Taco Bell, but everything else.
I don't know. Taco Bell's pretty bad for you.
It is. It is.
Just ask your bowels in 30 minutes.
Jeez, my jeans waistline. They're screaming. Anyways, thanks for putting up with this. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something, and hopefully you'll know what to look out for. That was the goal of this. It's very important to us. If you have questions, you can reach out to us. We're not experts, but we can get you in touch with people who are pretty good at this stuff. So
Yeah.
definitely let us know.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for tuning in to Brew Crime. You can find us on all social media platforms at Brew Crime. We have a Facebook group at Brew Crime the Group. If you would like to support the show, head to patreon.com/brewcrime now. The money goes towards upgrading equipment and making the show that much better. You get one bonus episode a month, as well as early ad-free access to our episodes. Shout out to our Patreon supporters, True Crime Nana, 3 Beers In Podcast, and the Faves of Our Lives. And that is not a scam.
No, and neither is reviewing us.
Yes,
you know what's funny? Put 5 stars and then say, this is a scam. That's that's what you can do. That will be the best.
It would be.
Anyways, just don't say this is a bot.
No.
Anything but, see, now I said it. People are going to, it doesn't matter. Just whatever you want. 5 stars, it's fine.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
All cases on Brew Crime are written by Mike and JT or a writer we credit on the episode, and sources are put into our show notes for each episode. We always want to give credit to the people that research the cases we talk about. Check out our store at tpublic.com/stores/brew-crime-podcast, where you can purchase gear like t-shirts, phone cases, stickers, pillows, and all kinds of other cool stuff. Brew Crime's intro was created by Mike using Creative Commons Attribution licensed audio from purple-planet.com, soundbible.com, and freesoundeffects.com. Logo designed by Ben Greenberg. Thanks for listening to this episode of Brew Crime Podcast.
I'm Edward October. Ask any bold individualist and they'll tell you. All you need for a perfect eggnog is to combine egg yolks, beaten until creamy, egg whites, beaten until fluffy, heavy cream, a generous portion of fresh ground nutmeg, and an even more generous portion of liquor. Most people use dark rum. I prefer bourbon. The final 2 ingredients are essential. Cozy seat by the fire to sip it, and a ghost story, told as only Octoberpod can tell it. This year, Octoberpod's gift to you is a Christmas ghost story that can easily be called a classic of the medium. It drops on December 25th, Christmas Day. Find it on our YouTube channel, Octoberpod Home Video, or on Octoberpod AM, wherever you get podcasts. You can find all of our links at octoberpodvhs.com. Listen by the fire, and we guarantee it will be the crowning pleasure of your busy holiday season. After all, eggnog without a belt of good hooch is hardly eggnog, and Christmas without an Octoberpod ghost story is hardly Christmas. Octoberpod, Yuletide horror for bold individualists.
Update on this phone, because it used to, whenever I had this app open, it would keep the screen on, and now it's not. What is going on?
Boo.
Yeah. What's going on? I'll have to figure out why. All right. We're recording. I will press intro. Let's do that again, because that is really fucking quiet. That's right. How's that? That's better.
Oh.
Okay, ready? Welcome to Brew...
Right to the back of the show. That's where that one goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What are you going to say?
No,